ग्रुप ए एटेम्प्ट एनी 9 क्वेसन। यसमा जम्मा 11 वटा क्वेसन दिएको हुन्छ र 9 वटा क्वेसन अनिवार्य गर्नुपर्ने हुन्छ। सो मैले 11 वटा नै गरेको छु र तपाईहरुलाई जुन इजी लाग्छ त्यो गर्नु होला 9 वटा छानेर। सो क्वेसन नम्बर 1, डिफाइन साइटोलोजी। डिफाइन साइटोलोजी। Answer: Cytology is the branch of biology that deal with the study of cell. Cell is the structural and functional unit of life. Cytology is the branch of biology that deal with the study of cell. Cell is the structural and functional unit of life. र यसलाई आफ्नो तरिकाले पनि लेख्न सकिन्छ because it is the study of cell. So answer, this is the another answer of this question. So यो आफ्नो तरिकाले लेखेको हो यो यही क्वेसन को डिफाइन साइटोलोजी को। सो answer, it is the study of cell. Cell is the defined as the structural and functional unit of life. It is the study of cell. Cell is the defined as the structural and functional unit of life. Question number 2, lysosome is called suicidal bag. Why? Lysosome is called suicidal bag. Why? Answer, lysosome is called suicidal bag because they consist of different hydrolyzing enzymes capable of digestion. They can digest the various cell organelles. Answer, lysosome is called suicidal bag because they consist of different hydrolyzing enzymes capable of digestion. They can digest the various cell organelles. Question number 3, define photosynthesis. Define photosynthesis. Answer, the process of the formation of simple carbohydrate from CO2 and H2O in the green part of plant in the presence of sunlight. र CO2 भनेको कार्बन डाइअक्साइड हो र H2O भनेको वाटर हो र यसलाई हाइड्रो अक्साइड पनि भनिन्छ। सो Answer, the process of the formation of simple carbohydrate from CO2 and H2O in the green part of plant in the presence of sunlight. Question number 4. Question number 4. Write the full form of DNA. Write the full form of DNA. So, answer, the full form of DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid. र कहिलेकाहीँ RNA पनि सोधिन्छ। सो RNA को फुल फर्म सोधियो भने यस्तो लेखिदिनु होला। नमस्ते, म रुपेश चौधरी र आज यस भिडियोमा हेर्दै हुनुहुन्छ Ctevt बाट आयोजित गरेको डिप्लोमा तहको क्वेशन पेपर जुन 2077 सालमा आएको थियो बोटानीको। सो यदि भिडियो मन पर्यो भने लाइक गरिदिनु होला र केही प्रश्न छ भने कमेन्ट बक्समा लेख्नु होला, त्यसको म रिप्लाई दिने नै छु। सो भिडियो अन्तसम्म हेर्नु होला। सो थ्यांक यू फर वाचिङ दिस भिडियो एन्ड बेस्ट अफ लक फर योर एक्जामिनेसन। थ्यांक यू। Question number 5. Question number 5. Define heredity and variation. Define heredity and variation. So answer, heredity, the transmission of character from one generation to the successive generation or from parent to their offspring. The transmission of character from one generation to successive generation or from parent to their offspring. Variation, variation. So answer, the difference occur in offspring as compared to their parent. The difference occur in offspring as compared to their parent. Question number 6. Question number 6. What is reserved food material in green algae? What is reserved food material in green algae? र कहिलेकाहीँ ग्रीन algae को ठाउँमा algae मात्र दिएको हुन्छ, त्यही भएर मजाले बुझ्नु होला। सो starch is reserved food material of green algae. Green algae को reserve food कहाँ गरिन्छ अरे starch मा। सो question number 7. Question number 7. Define food chain. Define food chain. So answer, food chain is defined as the transfer of food energy from the sources that is producer through the series of any organism in the ecosystem by the process of eating or being eaten. Question number 8. What are producer? यो क्वेशन व्हाट आर प्रोड्युसर भनेको छ। प्रोड्युसरहरु के हुन् भन्नुको अर्थ प्रोड्युसर भनेको के हुन्छ र that is primary producer, secondary producer, tertiary producer र यिनै तीनवटा प्रोड्युसर हुन् जसलाई The producer are primary producer, secondary producer, tertiary producer. So यो क्वेसनले भनेको छ प्रोड्युसर कति प्रकारको हुन्छ, व्हाट आर प्रोड्युसर. सो मैले भनेको छु प्रोड्युसर 3 प्रकारको हुन्छ, प्राइमरी प्रोड्युसर हुन्छ, सेकेन्डरी प्रोड्युसर हुन्छ र टर्सियरी प्रोड्युसर हुन्छ. सो क्वेसन नम्बर 9. Why bryophyta are called amphibian plant? Why bryophyta are called amphibian plant? So answer, they are found in land but water is extremely important for fertilization, hence bryophyta are called amphibian plant. They are found in land but water is extremely important for fertilization, hence bryophyta are called amphibian plant. Question number 10. Write any 2 application of fermentation. Write any 2 application of fermentation. So answer, the 2 application of fermentation are: point number A, fermentation has many health benefit and use in production of alcoholic beverage, bread, yogurt, sauerkraut, apple cider, vinegar and kombucha. So fermentation has many health benefit and use in production of alcoholic beverage, bread, yogurt, sauerkraut, apple cider, vinegar and kombucha. So point number B, it is also used in industry to generate ethanol as a source of biofuel. So question number 11, write the scientific name of potato and rice. Write the scientific name of potato and rice. So answer, the scientific name of potato. So Solanium tuberosum. Potato को scientific name Solanium tuberosum हो र rice को Orza sativa. Group B, attempt any 9 question. यसमा पनि जम्मा 11 वटा क्वेशन दिएको हुन्छ र 9 वटा क्वेशन अनिवार्य गर्नुपर्ने हुन्छ. सो मैले 11 वटा नै गरेको छु, तपाईहरु छानेर 9 वटा गर्नु होला जुन इजी लाग्छ हो. सो question number 12, list out the function of lipid. So answer, the function of lipid are so point number A, lipid are efficient sources of energy. Point number B, lipid act as a structural compound of cell membrane, cell organelle in the form of phospholipid. Lipid act as a structural compound of cell membrane, cell organelle in the form of phospholipid. Point number C, vitamin D is synthesized from cholesterol on the presence of sunlight. Point number D, fact act as a carriage of fat soluble vitamin like A, D, E and K. Fact act as carriage of fat soluble vitamin like A, D, E and K. So point number E, fact deposited of adipose tissue of animal act as heat insulator. Question number 14, difference between living thing and non-living thing. So living thing and their difference, non-living things. So living thing and non-living things. So living things and their difference, non-living things. So point number 1, they possessed life, they do not possess life. They show movement, they do not show movement. They can show response to external stimulate, they cannot show response to external stimulate. Living things has a limited duration of life, they have unlimited duration of time. They can repair injury part, they do not repair injury part. List out the rule of binomial nomenclature. So answer, the rule of binomial nomenclature are, so point number A, any organism is assigned a scientific name of consisting 2 words, that is generic and a specific name. So any organism is assigned a scientific name consisting 2 words, that is generic and specific. So point number B, the scientific name should be underlined in handwritten form. They should be in italic if printed form. The scientific name should be underlined in handwritten form. They should be in italic if printed form. Point number C. The generic name begin with a capital letter, but a specific name consists of all small letter. The generic name begin with a capital letter, but a specific name consists of all small letter. Point number D. The scientific name should be taken from Greek or Latin language. The scientific name should be taken from Greek or Latin language. Point number E. The difficult and long name should be avoided. The difficult and long name should be avoided. So question number 17. Question number 17. Write down the general character of virus. Write down the general character of virus. So answer, the general character of virus are. The general character of virus are. So point number A. They contain either DNA or RNA. So they contain either DNA or RNA. So point number B. They respond to heat, chemical or radiation. They respond to heat, chemical and radiation. Point number C. They transmitted from the disease host to the healthy one. They transmitted from the disease host to the healthy one. Question number 18. Question number 18. Describe the chromosomal sex determination in human. Describe the chromosomal sex determination in human. कहिलेकाहीँ यस्तो हुन्छ कि क्वेसन घुमाएर देखाउँछ, हामी बुझ्नलाई गल्ती गर्छौँ, त्यही भएर कहिलेकाहीँ यस्तो क्वेसन दिन्छ, डिस्क्राइब द सेक्स डिटर्मिनेसन इन ह्युमन. सो एउटै क्वेसन हो, मजाले बुझ्नु होला. सो एन्सर, द क्रोमोजोमल सेक्स डिटर्मिनेसन इन ह्युमन. यो क्वेसनले भन्न खोजेको छ सेक्स डिटर्मिनेसन. फर इक्जाम्पल, केटा र केटीले सेक्स गर्छ भने त्यो केटा हुन्छ कि केटी हुन्छ कसरी थाहा पाउने, त्यहीहरू बारे यस भिडियोमा भन्नेछु, यस क्वेसनमा भनेको छ. सो फर्स्ट अफ अल केटा र केटी राख्यो भन्नुको अर्थ प्यारेन्ट्स फिमेल एन्ड मेल. यो यसको चिन्ह हो, सिम्बल भनेको यस्तो हुन्छ, फिमेलको र मेलको यस्तो हुन्छ. सो बुझिहाल्नु होला. सो फिमेलमा के हुन्छ, XX प्लस XX हुन्छ, यो होमोग्यामेटिक हो. र मेलमा के हुन्छ, XX प्लस XY हुन्छ, यो हेट्रोग्यामेटिक हो. र फिमेलमा ओभा पाइन्छ भने मेलमा स्पर्म पाइन्छ. सो यसको ग्यामेट लिने, ग्यामेट भनेको एउटा लिने. सो X प्लस X हुन्छ भनेको अर्थ केटामा X प्लस Y हुन्छ. सो र यसलाई फर्स्ट जेनेरेसन क्रस गरेर फर्स्ट जेनेरेसन निस्काउने भन्नुको अर्थ केटा र केटी एक ठाउँ भयो भने सेक्स गरिन्छ भने त्यहाँ त अब केटा नत्र केटी त हुन्छ नि, कुनै न कुनै एउटा हुन्छ. सो यदि एक्ससँग रियाक्सन गर्यो भने XX आयो भने फिमेल हुन्छ, र X र Yसँग रियाक्सन गर्यो भने मेल हुन्छ, XY आयो भने. सो XX आयो भने फिमेल हुन्छ, XY आयो भने मेल हुन्छ. सो यसमा बुझ्नु होला. सो प्यारेन्ट्स फिमेल र मेल, र फिमेलमा के हुन्छ, XX प्लस XX हुन्छ भन्नुको अर्थ यो होमोग्यामेट हो, र मेलमा के हुन्छ, XX प्लस XY हुन्छ भन्नुको अर्थ यो हेट्रोग्यामेट हो. र मेलमा के हुन्छ, स्पर्म हुन्छ, र फिमेलमा ओभा हुन्छ. सो ग्यामेट लिने, ग्यामेट के हुन्छ, सिमिलर, मोर देन सिमिलर. सो सिमिलर X प्लस X हो. सो यसमा पनि X प्लस XY हुन्छ. सो यसलाई क्रस गर्दाखेरि के हुन्छ, क्रस भन्नुको अर्थ सेक्स गराउँदाखेरि कुनै त एउटा हुन्छ नि, जस्तो कि केटा नत्र केटी जन्मिन्छ नि, कुनै न कुनै एउटा हो, त्यो हो. यदि XXसँग रियाक्सन गर्यो XX आयो भने फिमेल हुन्छ, र X र Yसँग रियाक्सन गर्यो भने XY आयो भने मेल हुन्छ. सो फर्स्ट जेनेरेसन भनेको यही हो, र यही हामीले बुझेर आफ्नो तरिकाले ल्याङ्ग्वेजमा लेख्ने हो. सो Point number A. There are 22 pair of autosomes and 1 pair of sex chromosomes. There are 22 pair of autosomes and 1 pair of sex chromosomes. Point number B. Male have 22 pair of autosomes and 2 different sex chromosomes regarded as X and Y. Male have 22 pair of autosomes and 2 different sex chromosomes regarded as X and Y. So point number C, the male are heterogametic, producing 2 different type of gamete or sperm, one having 22 plus X, that is gonosperm, and another having 22 plus XY, that is androgymes. So the male are heterogametic, producing 2 different type of gamete or sperm, one having 22 plus X, that is gonosperm, and another having 22 plus XY, that is androgymes. So point number D, the male are homogametic, producing only one type of gamete or ovum. The male are homogametic, producing only one type of gamete or ovum, that is 22 plus X, having 22 plus X. So point number E. So the sex of the progeny depend on the kind of sperm. The sex of the progeny depend on the kind of sperm. So point number F, fertilization of egg 22 plus X by a sperm carrying 22 plus X produce female having 22 pair plus XX chromosomes. Fertilization of egg 22 plus X by sperm carrying 22 plus X produce female having 22 pair plus XX chromosomes. Point number G, fertilization of egg 22 plus X by a sperm carrying 22 plus Y produce male offspring having 22 pair plus XY chromosomes. Fertilization of egg 22 plus X by a sperm carrying 22 plus Y produce male offspring having 22 pair plus XY chromosomes. Question number 19. Mention the application of genetic engineering. Mention the application of genetic engineering. So answer, the application of genetic engineering are, so point number A, application of genetic engineering in medicine and human health, and another एप्लिकेसन अफ जेनेटिक इन्जिनियरिङ इन एग्रिकल्चर. यसको दुईवटा पार्ट हुन्छ. एउटा मेडिसिन क्षेत्रमा काम दिन्छ भन्नुको अर्थ, ह्युमन हेल्थमा काम दिन्छ भने अर्को एग्रिकल्चरहरूमा काम दिन्छ. सो point number 1, application of genetic engineering in medicine and human health. So point number A, production of vaccine, production of antibiotic, production of human growth hormones, production of transgenic animal, diagnosis of infectious disease, production of interferon. भन्नुको अर्थ एप्लिकेसन अफ जेनेटिक इन्जिनियरिङ इन मेडिसिन एन्ड ह्युमन हेल्थमा के काम गर्छ र प्रोडक्सन अफ भ्याक्सिन, प्रोडक्सन अफ एन्टिबायोटिक, प्रोडक्सन अफ ह्युमन ग्रोथ हर्मोन्स, प्रोडक्सन अफ ट्रान्सजेनिक एनिमल, डायग्नोसिस अफ इन्फेक्टियस डिजिज, प्रोडक्सन अफ इन्टरफेरन. भन्नुको अर्थ यसको धेरै फाइदा छ, यो प्रोडक्सन गर्नलाई काम गर्छ. सो अर्को नम्बर, एप्लिकेसन अफ जेनेटिक इन्जिनियरिङ इन एग्रिकल्चर. एग्रिकल्चरमा के काम गर्छ यसले? सो point number A, बायोफर्टिलाइजेसन. बायोफर्टिलाइजेसन भनेको हावाबाट फर्टिलाइजेसन गर्नु. सो र point number B, प्रोडक्सन अफ डिजिज कन्सिस्ट भेराइटिज अफ प्लान्ट. यो प्रोडक्सन डिजिज उत्पादन गर्ने काम गर्छ धेरै प्लान्टबाट. सो point number C, increase in the protein content in plant and animal. Increase in protein content in plant and animal. Question number 20. What is ethnobotany? What is ethnobotany? Write down its significance. So answer, what is ethnobotany? So answer, ethnobotany is the branch of botany which deal with the study of traditional knowledge and custom of people concerning plant and their uses. Ethnobotany is the branch of botany which deal with the study of traditional knowledge and custom of people concerning plant and their uses. So ethnobotany ko significance. So its significance. So point number A, recognition of profession. Recognition of profession. Point number B, preservation of their knowledge. Preservation of their knowledge. So question number 22. Mention the medical value of aloe vera and Ocimum centum. Ocimum centum भनेको तुलसी हो. सो यो साइन्टिफिक नेम भनेको Ocimum centum हो र इङ्ग्लिस नेम भनेको तुलसी हुन्छ. सो एन्सर, the medical value of aloe vera are, the medical value of aloe vera are. So point number 1, it help to reduce blood sugar. It help to reduce blood sugar. Point number 2, it is considered a natural laxative. It is considered a natural laxative. So point number 3, it is used to keep your skin clear and hydrated. It is used to keep your skin clear and hydrated. Point number 4, the leaf juice is used to take out intestinal worm in children. The leaf juice is used to take out intestinal worm in children. So, answer. The medicinal value of Ocimum centum are. So, answer. The medical value of Ocimum centum. Ocimum centum भनेको तुलसी हो. So, point number 1. The decoction of leaf is given in malaria, gastric disease of children and liver disorder. Decoction भनेको चटनी बनाउनु क्या, त्यसलाई थोक्चेर त्यसको त्यो हुन्छ नि पानीमा मिक्स गरेर त्यो खाने हो, त्यसलाई नै decoction भनिन्छ. So the decoction of leaf is given in malaria, gastric disease of children and liver disorder. Point number 2. The leaf juice can be used in skin disease. The leaf juice can be used in skin disease. Point number 3. The decoction of leaf is used in the treatment of common cold and fever. The decoction of leaf is used in the treatment of common cold and fever. Group C. Attempt any 3 questions. यसमा जम्मा 3 वटा क्वेशन गर्नु भनेको छ, जम्मा 5 वटा क्वेशन दिएको हुन्छ र 3 वटा गर्नु पर्ने हुन्छ. सो मैले 5 वटै गरेको छु, तपाईहरु छानेर 3 वटा गर्नु होला, जुन इजी हुन्छ त्यही गर्नु होला. सो question number 23. What is mitosis? Explain it with necessary diagram. So answer. Mitosis is the process of cell division in which a mature somatic cell divided in such a way that both mother and daughter cell have the same number of chromosomes. So the daughter cell are equitatively similar to the mother cell. Thus it is called as equational cell division. In mitosis, there are 3 successive stages, that is interphase, cytokinesis र karyokinesis. Cytokinesis भनेको cytoplasmic division पनि हो र karyokinesis भनेको nuclear division पनि भनिन्छ. So question number 24. Describe the life cycle of Spirogyra or penicillin. Describe the life cycle of Spirogyra or penicillin. यसमा जम्मा 2 वटा क्वेशन एडेड भएको छ र तपाईहरुलाई कुनै एउटा गर्नुपर्ने हुन्छ. सो मैले दुईटै गरेको छु, यदि जुन इजी लाग्छ हजुरहरुलाई त्यही गर्नु होला हजुरहरुलाई. सो at first Spirogyra को भन्न गइरहेको छु. So answer. Spirogyra is commonly found in fresh water green algae. It grow in stagnant water bodies like pond, dish and pool, forming free floating extensive mass. The thallus of Spirogyra is filament is long on branch and composed of end to end arrangement of elongated cell. The cell are characterized by having one or few spirally coiled flat chloroplast with pyrenoid. So Spirogyra reproduce by vegetative, asexual and sexual method to complete life cycle. Spirogyra life cycle complete कसरी गर्छ? यो 3 वटा मेथडबाट. At first vegetative मेथडबाट र अर्को asexual मेथडबाट र तेस्रो sexual मेथडबाट. यो तीनटै भइसकेपछि अनि मात्र Spirogyra को लाइफ साइकल कम्प्लिट हुन्छ. So at first vegetative reproduction. So point number 1, vegetative reproduction. So vegetative reproduction take place by the fragmentation of filament. The filament break into fragment by some cases and each fragment develop into a new filament. Point number 2, asexual reproduction. So asexual reproduction take place by formation of akinete and a planosphere. Asexual reproduction take place by formation of akinete and a planosphere. Asexual reproduction 2 प्रकारले विभाजन गरिएको छ, एउटा akinete र अर्को aplanosphere. So akinete. Point number A. So akinete. Point number A. Akinete. So under adverse condition, vegetative cell accumulate food material and secrete thick wall and convert into resting spore called akinete. On returning of suitable condition, akinete germinate and give new filament. Under adverse condition, vegetative cell accumulate food material and secrete thick wall and convert into resting spore called akinete. On returning of a suitable condition, akinete germinate and give new filament. So point number B, aplanospore. So answer. Rarely protoplast of some species contract round off and secrete thick wall and convert into aplanospore. It release and germinate to give filament. Rarely protoplast of some species contract round off and secrete thick wall and convert into a planospore. It releases and germinates to give filament. Point number 3, sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction. So, sexual reproduction take place by the conjugation. It is of two types. So, sexual reproduction को दुईवटा टाइपबाट कम्प्लिट हुन्छ यसको. Point number A, scleriform conjugation. Point number A, scleriform conjugation. So, it occurs in heterothylic species. In this process, two filaments of opposite strand come to a range parallel and closed by meiosis. Opposite cell produce papillae. Papillae grow toward each other and come in contact wall, dissolved by enzyme cytose and form tubular connection called conjugation tube, through which protoplast from male positive cell pass to female negative cell and fused with female protoplast to form diploid zygote. Zygote round off and secrete thick wall to form diploid resting spore called zygospore. So, point number B, lateral conjugation. Lateral conjugation. So answer, it occurs in homothylic species. In this type, conjugation occurs between adjacent cell of same filament. It is also two types. So first, point number 1, यो रोमनमा लेखेको छ, त्यही भएर यहाँ आई लेखेको छ. So indirect lateral conjugation, र अर्को direct lateral conjugation हुन्छ. So indirect lateral conjugation. Answer, in this type of two adjacent cells behave as male and female cell. They produce papillae from longitudinal wall on either side of common septum. Papillae grow toward each other and come in contact. Contact wall dissolve to form conjugation tube, through which male protoplast pass to female cell and fuse to form zygospore. So point number 2, यो रोमनमा लेखिएको छ, त्यही भएर यहाँ डबल आई लेखिएको छ. So point number 2, direct lateral conjugation. So answer, in some species of Spirogyra such as Yos jogensis, the cell lining next to the heptaron act as female cell and the cell next above as male cell. The protoplast of male cell become conical rod shape, which passes common septum to form pore, through which it enter to female cell and fused with female protoplast to form zygospore. In some species of Spirogyra such as Yos jogensis, the cell lining next to the heptaron as a female cell and the cell next above as male cell. The protoplast of male cell become conical rod shape, which passes common septum to form pore, through which it enter to female cell and fused with female protoplast to form zygospore. Germination of zygospore. So zygospore is a spherical or ellipsoidal brown colored thick wall resting structure. During adverse condition, it survives in rest state. When suitable condition return, it germinates to give new filament. Before germination, diploid nucleus of zygospore divided by meiosis to form 4 haploid nucleus, among which 3 degenerate, leaving 1 as functional nucleus. During germination, outer thick wall of zygospore rupture and inner thin wall protrude out as germ's tube. The germ's tube divided into 2 cells. The lower cell formed haploid cell, whereas upper cell formed filament. So, this is the figure of Spirogyra. Question number 24. Describe the life cycle of Penicillium. So, answer. Penicillium is a saprophytic fungus growing on various types of organic rich substratum, bread, jams, jellies, decaying fruit, meat, etc. It is commonly called as blue mold because it generally produces blue colored colony. Penicillium is mycelia fungus. Mycelium is composed of fine much branch septate hyaline hyphae with multinucleated cell. So Penicillium reproduced by vegetative, asexual and sexual method to complete its life cycle. Penicillium reproduced by vegetative, asexual and sexual method to complete its life cycle. So Penicillium ले complete गर्छ life cycle आफ्नो 3 मेथड द्वारा. So first vegetative reproduction, and second asexual reproduction, and third sexual reproduction मेथडबाट आफ्नो लाइफ साइकल कम्प्लिट गर्दछ। सो point number 1 vegetative reproduction, vegetative reproduction. So vegetative reproduction take place by fragmentation, vegetative reproduction take place by fragmentation. Point number 2, asexual reproduction, asexual reproduction. So answer, asexual reproduction take place by the formation of conidia under suitable condition. Mycelium produce erect hyphae called conidia forest. Conidia forest produce branches called metolia and tip. Each metola produce 2 to 5 bottle shaped structure called stigmata. Each stigmata produce chain of conidia in basipetal succession. Conidia foray with metola, stigmata, and chain of conidia look like a brush, Penicillium. Mature conidia are disseminated by wind. When they get suitable condition, they germinate to give rise Mycelium. Point number 3, sexual reproduction, sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction occur by zometangial contact. Female organ oscogonium is long tubular structure arises as a lateral outgrowth of any cell of vegetative hyphae. It is initially uninucleated but become 32 to 64 nucleated with elongation simultaneous with of Escogonium antheridial branch arises from neighboring hyphae which grow up cooling around the Escogonium, and a short uninucleated club-shaped terminal antheridium is cut off by cross-sectum. The tip of antheridium comes contact with Escogonium and contact will dissolve. Mere contact of antheridial protoplast stimulate escogonial nuclei to arrange in pair. The pairing of escogonial nuclei themselves is called autogamy. Autogamy is followed by septation of escogonium, each cell consisting pair of nuclei. Dikaryotic cell, dikaryotic भनेको डाइ भनेको दुई, कार्योटिक भनेको lack of nucleus. So dikaryotic cell, dikaryotic ascogonous hypha arises from dikaryotic cell. The terminal cell of ascogonous hypha act as ascous mother cell. Two nuclei of ascous mother cell fuse to diploid nucleus. The cell containing diploid nucleus is the young Mcqs, which enlarge to form globose ascous. Diploid nucleus divided by meiosis and then by mitosis to form 8 haploid nucleus which gather cytoplasm and secrete one wall and convert into ascospore. Simultaneous with the development of ascogenous hypha as ascous intentional sterile hypha grow around them, forming a loose wall of spherical Schistostheum. Ascospore released by decay of Schistostheum and germinate to give rise hypha and Mycelium. This is the figure of Penicillium. Question number 25. Define osmosis. Explain the experiment of demonstrate the process of osmosis by egg membrane method. Define osmosis. Explain the experiment to demonstrate the process of osmosis by egg membrane method. So answer, the process or phenomenon of the movement of the solvent molecule from the region of its higher concentration to the region of its lower concentration through semi-permeable membrane is called osmosis. The process or phenomenon of the movement of the solvent molecule from the region of its higher concentration to the region of its lower concentration to the semi-permeable membrane is termed as osmosis. Question number 26. What is air pollution? Write down its sources, effect and preventive measure. यसमा पहिलो कुरा भनेको छ what is air pollution सोधेको छ र यसको एयर पोल्युसन को सोर्सेस के हो र एयर पोल्युसन को इफेक्ट के हुन्छ र एयर पोल्युसन को प्रिभेन्टिभ मेजर कसरी गरिन्छ भन्ने कुरा सोधेको छ। सो सबभन्दा पहिलो एयर पोल्युसन को आन्सर भनौं। व्हाट इज एयर पोल्युसन? आन्सर, Air pollution is the undesirable change in quality of air due to the addition of various materials that alter the physical, biological and chemical quality of air. Air pollution is the undesirable change in air quality due to the addition of various materials that alter the physical, biological and chemical property of air. So sources of air pollution, sources of air pollution. So answer, sources of air pollution. So point number A, vehicles. So they release CO2, NOx, hydrocarbon, etc. They release CO2, NOx, hydrocarbon, etc. Point number B, ionizing radiation. So these are alpha beta particle released from nuclear power plant and nuclear explosion. These are alpha beta particle released from nuclear power plant and nuclear explosion. So point number C, factories and industries. Factories and industries. So cement factories, stone grinding factories, brick factories, paper industry and rubber industry are released gases such as CO2, SO2, NOx, H2S and hydrocarbon are released in the atmosphere. Cement factories, stone grinding factories, brick factories, paper industry and rubber industry are released gases such as CO2, SO2, NOx, H2S and hydrocarbon are released in the atmosphere. So point number D, domestic burning. So burning of cooking gas and domestic fuel such as wood, coal, etc. release CO and CO2 and other gases. Burning of cooking gas and domestic fuel such as wood, coal, etc. release CO, CO2 and other gases. Effect on air pollution. So it is divided into two parts. First one point A, effect on human health. So point number 1, Roman. So CO2 combined with hemoglobin and form carboxyhemoglobin, it reduces O2 carrying capacity and causes headache, dizzy and difficult in breathing. CO2 combine hemoglobin सँग, CO2 भनेको कार्बन मोनोअक्साइड हो र हाम्रो हेमोग्लोबिन ब्लडमा हुन्छ. सो कार्बन मोनोअक्साइड हेमोग्लोबिन सँग कम्बाइन भएपछि कार्बोअक्सी हेमोग्लोबिन हुन्छ, जसले यो कार्बोअक्सी हेमोग्लोबिनले के गर्छ, हाम्रो यो अक्सिजन लेभल हुन्छ नि, लिने अक्सिजन क्यारिङ क्यापेसिटी त्यो घटाइदिन्छ र त्यो घटेपछि के हुन्छ, हाम्रो टाउको दुख्छ र हाम्रो उल्टी हुन्छ र सास लिनलाई गाह्रो हुन्छ. सो त्यही भनेको छ यो पोइन्टमा. सो point number 2, SO2 causing irritation of eye, lung and asthma. SO2 cases के गर्छ र SO2 ले के गर्छ खासमा, irritation of eye भनेको आँखा चिलाउने र lungs अनि अस्थमा. lungs भनेको लङ्समा पनि त्यो खोकी हुन्छ नि, सुरसुरी लाग्ने, र यो अस्थमा भनेको दम्मा बेरामीलाई थाहा नै होला कस्तो हुन्छ भनेर, रातभरि खोकी गरिराख्छ हो, त्यसलाई नै भनिन्छ दम्मा बेरामी. सो अस्थमा भनेको खोकी गरिराख्ने क्या जहिले नि हो, त्यस्तो बेरामीलाई अस्थमा भनिन्छ. सो point number 3, oxide of nitrogen, cases of irritation of mucous membrane and damage to respiratory system. oxide of nitrogen भनेको एउटा नशा पदार्थको त्यो हो, मतलब हुन्छ नि त, सबैको एउटा दबाई हुन्छ हो, त्यस्तै यो नशा पदार्थको दबाई हो. सो नाइट्रोजन भनेको त थाहा नै हो. सो केसेस के गर्छ यसले, इरिटेसन अफ मुकस मेम्ब्रेन, यो हाम्रो त्यो मुकस मेम्ब्रेन हुन्छ नि, त्यो चिलाइराखेको हुन्छ, भन्नुको अर्थ तनाव दिइराखेको हुन्छ क्या, के गर्ने नगर्ने भनेर. र यसले के गर्छ हामीलाई, ड्यामेज अफ रेस्पिरेटरी सिस्टम, र यसले हाम्रो रेस्पिरेटरी सिस्टम हुन्छ त्यसलाई ड्यामेज गर्ने क्षमता राख्छ यसले. सो रेस्पिरेटरी सिस्टम ड्यामेज हुन जान्छ. सो पोइन्ट नम्बर बी, इफेक्ट अन इन्भाइरोमेन्ट, र वातावरणमा कसरी यसले असर पार्दछ. सो सुन्नुहोस्, फर्स्टमा ग्रीन हाउस इफेक्ट भनेको त थाहा नै छ. सो एन्सर, ग्रीन हाउस इफेक्टको सर्ट नोट. सो CO2 is produced in atmosphere by burning of fossil fuel, causes difficulty in breathing when present in large amount. The increased amount of CO2 in atmosphere causes global warming. So point number 2, ozone layer deflection. So it destroyed by C released from C भनेको क्लोरोफ्लोरोकार्बन हो. यसको सर्ट फर्म भनेको C नै हुन्छ क्लोरोफ्लोरोकार्बनको. सो refrigerator and aerosol which produce NOx into the stratosphere that reduce the concentration of O3 in stratosphere. O3 भनेको ओजन हो, सर्ट फर्म भनेको O3 हुन्छ र अक्साइड को O2 हुन्छ. So answer, prevention of air pollution, prevention of air pollution. So point number A, public awareness program in the community is essential. Public awareness program in the community is essential. Point number B, reduction in number of vehicle and use unleaded petrol. Reduction in number of vehicle and use unleaded petrol. Point number C, stop the forest fire and prevention it. Stop the forest fire and prevention it. Point number D, minimizing consumption of fuel and burning wood. Minimizing consumption of fuel and burning wood. Point number E, replacing thermal power plant with electricity generation system. Replacing thermal power plant with the electricity in a generation system. Question number 27. Question number 27. Describe Mendel's law of inheritance. Describe Mendel's law of inheritance. So answer, the law given by the Mendel's are called Mendel's law of inheritance based on monohybrid and dihybrid cross. Mendel's postulate 3 law are. So point number A, law of dominance, law of segregation, law of independence, assortment. So यिनीहरुको एक्सप्लेन गर्ने पर्ने हुन्छ. So point number A, law of dominance, law of dominance. So answer, law of dominance states that out of 2 traits of the parents, 1 trait appear in F1 generation is called dominance, while other character is known as recessive trait. When 2 pure plants with 1 or more constructing character are crossed, only 1 form of character are expressed in F1 hybrid called dominant character. The alternative factor that fail to express themselves in F1 generation are called recessive character. For example, when pure tall pea plant symbol capital TT is crossed with pure dwarf pea plant symbol small tt is only tall pea plant capital T and small t appear in F1 generation as hybrid. Here dominant character mark the character of recessive it show the law of dominance. So यसमा के हुन्छ, खासमा रियाक्सन गर्ने केटा र केटी जस्तो हुन्छ नि हो त्यस्तै यसमा पनि प्योर टल पी प्लान्टलाई रियाक्सन गर्ने प्योर ड्वार्फ पी प्लान्ट सँग. सो प्यारेन्ट्सले नै, प्यारेन्ट्स भनेको क्यापिटल टीटी मतलब प्योर टल पी प्लान्ट को सिम्बल टीटी हुन्छ. सो क्यापिटल टीटी हुन्छ जसलाई मेल भनिन्छ र प्योर ड्वार्फ पी प्लान्ट को सिम्बल स्मल टीटी हुन्छ र यसलाई फिमेल भनिन्छ. सो ग्यामेट लिने दुईटैको सिम्बल सिमिलर देन 1 लिने एउटा. सो ग्यामेट लिँदाखेरि एउटा टी लिने दुईटैलाई कम्बाइन गर्दाखेरि F1 जेनेरेसन निस्किन्छ र यसलाई के भनिन्छ, क्यापिटल टी र स्मल टी निस्किन्छ. सो क्यापिटल टी लाई के भनिन्छ, डोमिनेन्ट एलिल र स्मल टी लाई रिसेसिभ एलिल भनिन्छ. सो point number B, law of segregation, law of segregation. So answer, law of segregation of 2 allele of a gene trait remain together in a heterozygote for a long time, but they do not mix or contaminated. They can separate to each other at the time of gamete formation and form pure gametes. So it is called law of segregation. For example, when pure tall capital TT and pure dwarf small tt pea plant are crossed, all F1 hybrid are phenotype tall with genotype capital T and small t. When F1 generation is self-fertilized, the resultant F2 generations of offspring are found. The offspring of F2 generation show phenotype tall 75% and dwarf 25%, when genotype 25% pure tall, 50% hybrid tall and 25 pure dwarf. So phenotype ratio of tall R and dwarf is equal to 3:1. So phenotype ratio of tall and dwarf is equal to 3:1. The genotype of ratio R, pure tall ratio, hybrid tall ratio, pure dwarf is equal to 1:2:1. It cleared from the following Punnett square chart. It cleared from the following Punnett square chart. So pure tall pea plant, this is the pure tall pea plant, this is the symbol of male. So pure dwarf pea plant, this is the symbol of female. So parents लिँदाखेरि के हुन्छ, pure tall pea plant को symbol चाहिँ क्यापिटल टीटी हुन्छ र प्योर ड्वार्फ पी प्लान्टको स्याम्पल हुन्छ स्मल टीटी। सो यसको ग्यामेट लिने एउटा लिने र यसलाई रियाक्सन गर्दाखेरि F1 जेनेरेसन निस्किन्छ जसलाई भनिन्छ हाइब्रिड टल प्लान्ट भयो। दुईटैबाट निस्केको जुन हुन्छ त्यो हाइब्रिड टल प्लान्ट निस्किन्छ। सो यो आफैमा सेल्फ फर्टिलाइजेसन हुन्छ। सो सेल्फ फर्टिलाइजेसन गर्दाखेरि के निस्किन्छ भन्ने कुरा यहाँ हेर्नुहोस्। सो यो मेल हो, मेलको स्याम्पल हो र यो फिमेलको स्याम्पल हो। सो दुईटैलाई रियाक्सन गर्दाखेरि के हुन्छ, यो इन्टु यो गर्दाखेरि क्यापिटल टीटी हुन्छ जुन टल प्योर टल हुन्छ र यो रियाक्सन यो गर्दाखेरि क्यापिटल टी र स्मल टी हुन्छ जसलाई हाइब्रिड टल भनिन्छ र यो इन्टु गर्दाखेरि क्यापिटल टी र स्मल टी हुन्छ भन्नुको अर्थ हाइब्रिड टल हो र यो इन्टु गर्दाखेरि स्मल टी निस्किन्छ जसलाई प्योर डार्क पनि भनिन्छ। सो प्योर डार्क भनिन्छ। सो फेनोटाइप रेसियो इज इक्वल टु 3:1, जिनोटाइप रेसियो इज इक्वल टु 1:2:1। सो F2 जेनेरेसन भनेको यही हो। Point number C, law of independence assortment. So answer, law of independence assortment states that when two pair of constructing allele present in parent inherit of offspring, one pair of allele is independent to assort to other pair of allele. In short, gametes are independent to assort with another opposite gamete due to that dihybrid cross. So 9:3:3:1 ratio in F2 generation. It means gene assort independently. When Mendel crossed the pure tall plant with red flower and pure dwarf plant with white flower, and the produce of one generation of spring were hybrid tall plant with red flower. The resultant F2 generation show 4 type of gamete and of spring. The phenotype of ratio of 9:3:3:1 of spring as tall plant with red flower is equal to 9/16, tall plant with white flower 3/16, dwarf plant with red flower 3/16, dwarf plant with white flower 1/16.